play of the game from way down.
True, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bombstastic gonna find Rainer.
Oh, the life finder keeps Maev up. It was going to be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming series. It's the weekly rewind, and this week we're gonna have we're gonna start off with a B West division game in between Spooky Ghosts and sOaK Every Lane. I'm your host Arrow, and I am joined by my good friend Recycix Hair.
Yeah, Arrow, that's really great to be here, but I don't see you. Arrow, you there? Hello?
You know, I'm here, Rec. There seems to be some kind of problem with your camera.
Where is... Oh, hello! Hi, everyone. There you are. Where you were hiding? Alright, what's going on, though? In all seriousness, what's going on, Arrow? How are you today?
You know what? It's hot. It's hot outside.
It is. Really hot out.
I woke up first thing this morning and got an alert that said, by the way, it's going to be really hot the next few days. So I said, great, that sucks.
Definitely. But we're inside. I'm in the AC. We're gonna be good. I'm actually cold.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to turn on my fans in a moment when we start up the game.
Cool.
So we've got this first game is between Spooky Ghosts and sOaK Every Lane, and I know that some of the names on these teams are familiar, and I know me personally, I've cast each of these teams, I think Spooky Ghosts 2 or 3 times, and sOaK Every Lane once or twice. Have you had the opportunity to cast either?
Actually, I have not yet, and I know of both teams. I know both of their names. I want to see if I recognize any names, to be honest with you, because I've been kind of out of it with NGS this season.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even necessarily that I'm not paying attention. It's just like I haven't really been communicating that well, so that's more of a me problem, not an anyone else problem. But yeah, I want to see if I recognize any names because I know you said you do.
Well, let's take a look at the maps here. So we had bans coming out from Spooky Ghosts on Braxis Holdout and Dragonshire, and then from sOaK Every Lane we had let's see, Infernal Shrines and Tomb of the Spider Queen. The selection going to be Alterac Pass, and that was picked up by sOaK Every Lane.
Cool, except I don't like Alterac, but that's fine. I know a lot of people do like it. It's just not my cup of tea personally. I've never been a fan of it, but cool. No, I like the bands. They're fine. Dragonshire surprises me a little bit as a band, but that's okay. Yeah, I say we get this right underway, you know?
There are definitely teams out there that absolutely hate Dragonshire. I know Rush P, one of those, that did not play it a single time in all of Division C, and as far as I'm aware, they've kept up that ban 100% in Division B this season. So
it's a hard map. It's hard. It's not super easy. I mean, I don't really blame them.
Well, let's go ahead and get started in this between Spooky Ghosts and sOaK Every Lane, and I'm not entirely sure. We'll see if the teams are actually on the correct sides. It shows them red and blue on the opposite sides of where they should be, but I don't know that that's actually correct. So, in fact, I think I just figured out why it shows that way. We'll see. All right. Anyways, game number 1 going to be on Alterac Pass. Let's go ahead and hop right on into this. And just as a reminder, everybody, with the NGS Rewind, this is a bunch of replay casts, so we're not going to get to see the drafts. We can see the map bans because that information is available on the replay browser. And actually, I can tell you the hero bans. Spooky Ghosts banned out Tyrande, Rainer, and Varian. sOaK Every Lane banned out Diablo, Medivh, and Chen. But let's get right into the game here, shall we?
Yeah. Okay, I do recognize a couple names. Just a couple, though. But as far as heroes, I like these drafts. I really like these. Huh. Oh, this is fun.
Anything particular stand out to you there on especially on an Alterac Pass type of map?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I'm a big fan of, me as a healer player. I really like, and especially on Alterac Pass, where team fights last a long time, are heroes that don't really have mana problems. So I like the Ana pickup. She doesn't run into too many mana problems, neither does Kael'thas for that matter, or Phoenix, haha. But Malfurion kind of does, but he also is good in sustained team fights. So it's funny. I like both the drafts altogether. Cool.
All right, then. Well, I didn't apparently get all of these fixed up, so why don't you go ahead and introduce the blue team, and I'll see if I can't fix up the pop-ups here real quick.
Sure. All right, so Spooky Ghosts, right? That's the blue team? Before I make a humiliating...
Yes.
Okay, Spooky Ghosts. Little Wolf will be playing on a Colidus, excuse me, will be playing Kael'thas. Boundary X will be on Phoenix. Rogoth will be playing Johanna, and Eric with a K on Greymundo.
All right, and for sOaK every lane, we've got Apocalypse going to be on Leoric, DMN 13 is going to be Falstad, Tornado is going to be Gul'dan, Philip K ETC, and Kid is going to be on Malfurion.
Very cool.
And now I can actually pop them up, because I was able to get that going. All right. So let's take a look at these talents. Anything on the talents that you see that excites you or looks a little bit different than normal, perhaps?
Well, mobile offense from Phoenix is a little funky. Usually see the Arsenal synergy or even the Plasma Cutter quest, which I forget the name of. But
Advanced targeting.
Advanced targeting, thank you. You usually see one of those two, but mobile offense I haven't seen in a long time. I don't know anything about Phoenix. I'll be brutally honest with you. I know nothing about the guy, so I'm not gonna make any comments really. But I do know that mobile offense is not typical. And then I mean, this is common Celestial alignment from Malfurion, but I personally just don't like it. Like, I just don't like the talent. Let me rephrase that. I like the talent, but I usually bait myself into walking forward too much. That being said, it's a good talent, it's a solid talent. You actually can deal a lot of damage with it, so I'm excited to see how this rolls out.
So there's one talent that I think is really exciting, which is Greymanes.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. The old question mark. Nobody knows what he picks.
Yeah,
he could be holding.
I wonder if Eric just like straight up forgot, like he thought he picked it and closed out the window or something. But we do have the camp coming up for sOaK every lane here, and then shortly thereafter, Spooky Ghost picking up theirs, and level 4 is available here too.
Wow, that was really quick. Level 4s in 2 minutes. That's Alterac for you, though. There's a lot of early structure damage, and a lot of early damage done to Johanna, too, but she's going to make it out just fine with Iron Skin.
Yeah, and Greymane still hasn't even selected his level 1. This is really confusing. Like, this is bot level of...
I'm honestly wondering, did we miss it?
Well, I mean, I turned off the chat, so we wouldn't see if they did, so...
Huh, okay.
We'll have to ask him later about that. See if we can find out from Eric what the deal is there. I mean, there's no quest talents, but you just don't... I mean, you lose advantages with that. But so anyways, so what do we have? We've got Phoenix versus Falstad in the bot lane, Greymane versus Leoric in the top lane.
Greymane is putting the beating on Leoric there.
Yeah, I mean... That's a thing for Leoric, right? I mean, when you've got a ranged assassin on the opposite side, it's a little bit hard for Leoric to get in there unless he's able to, you know, sneak in and get a spooky hand.
Yeah, it would be even worse if he was against Phoenix, which he was for a little bit, if you didn't notice earlier on. But I think the real talk right now is that we've got our blue team Spooky Ghosts trying to channel. Maybe they can get a channel in? No, it looks like the rest of sOaK every lane's coming in now.
Yeah, it was pretty close. sOaK picking up their null camp here to give them even more pressure in the mid lane here, and of course there are no towers here, so this null camp can come right in, and level 7's being picked up. There we go. Now we've got some Greymane talents.
Aha. Viciousness and thick skin. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And with the camp in the middle, we're gonna see sOaK every lane coming up working on the prison camp. They have, however, been stalled out twice, and they're trying to get the stall again, but not quite able to make it. And all 5 of both teams now nearby.
Yeah, looks like they're getting good game and jump to the ETC here. They were a little split, and by they I mean Spooky Ghosts, were a little split going into that because Falstad started pounding on that back line. But it seemed to work out in favor of Spooky Ghosts, so they're going to go ahead and push on to the sOaK Every Lane channel. Uh-oh.
And they do get it, but now Phoenix is getting rooted, so he's not going to be able to warp right away. Gets knocked out of that warp, and he will be the first kill of the game.
Wow, that was really good. Really good job on ETC to hold that cooldown to specifically for the interrupt of warp. I always love doing that. It makes it feel so good.
Because it often leads to a kill, right?
Typically, yeah. Phoenix kind of stands there and says, uh-oh.
And so 4v4 over the control point as Falstad kind of sneaking in a little bit of an XP catch in the middle there, and you know, keeping that lane pushed as well, getting the extra value in that mid lane.
Yeah, and the objective is kind of tied not tied, but 21 seconds
That's
and 19
close.
seconds is really close. So kind of anyone's game. Ooh, was that a bribe? I think it was.
I believe so, yeah, it was pretty quick. So once again, we've got the null camp going for sOaK Every Lane, so, you know, pushing hard. Johanna in a little deep there, but is going to pop the Iron Skin and get away. Phoenix also getting low, but the Sleep Dart keeping things pushed back a little bit so that Phoenix can walk away.
Yeah, really excellent sleep dart.
So
now it's time to clean up a camp because that's just pushing in for free right now. We can't let that happen.
So which ultimate do you think Ana goes here?
That's a great question. Let me actually think about this.
Okay, well, while you think about this, sOaK Every Lane is picking up or trying to pick up the prison camp here, but they do get the stall out of Johanna, and the null camp was cleared up in the mid lane as well.
I think it's Nano Boost. I think he's still Nano Boost this with Kael'thas, and even Phoenix can kind of benefit from it with Plasma Cutter. And it's going to deal more damage to slow targets with combat advantage at 7. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's going to be a Nano Boost, unless he snap picks for an interrupt or something on Ivehorus. I doubt it.
Well, and that's when we were talking earlier, you know, a little bit of a skirmish here, but nothing too dangerous. When we were talking earlier at the beginning of the game, and I was asking about heroes and talents, that's the one, you know, talent here that I saw personally that I think gets so much value is Greymane diving in, trying to get in onto the ETC. And the channel picked up by Kael'thas, but not quite able to complete it. Let's zoom back out so we can
not
watch
quite
this.
there. Leoric doesn't have really any range either outside of the spook hand, but I don't think that reaches quite far enough to interrupt. No, and looks like we're gonna have another little skirmish, mini one maybe. But ETC's kind of low. He has some self-healing up right now, but nothing that he can re-engage with. The rest of the red team is very low. sOaK Every Lane not doing so hot. ETC completely alone in here, and they're trying to get the interrupts, but the defense from Spooky Ghost was just too strong.
Yeah, so what I was thinking is that I have Horus on this map can get a ton of value because of the narrow corridors and lanes, especially around the top left control point and the bottom right control point.
Absolutely, it can. And if you want to be really cheeky, you can use it to interrupt those channels.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. I think it's still Nano Boost, but...
Oh, let's see. I'm curious. It could honestly be either. I would not hate either.
Oh, and a Pyroblast.
Oh, cheeky.
So, alright, so we've got Horrify, Mosh Pit, Gust of Wind, the Twilight Dream, and Entomb. So, okay, kind of expected.
That is kind of expected, but it's also a little spooky.
Oh, is this enough to kill him?
Oh, I don't think so. Yes.
Just enough.
I changed my mind. Uh-oh. ETC's in the back line, trying to cause a little bit of disruption onto Phoenix and maybe even Kael'thas, but he backs off because he's completely alone here. Anyway, so it's funny. You gotta be careful if you're sOaK Every Lane with these heroics, because Horrify and Gust can kind of ruin a mosh pit.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, they can kind of ruin it. However, Twilight Dream goes extremely well with one. So I don't know, you know.
And the Entomb, really. I mean,
yeah,
you can either use the Entomb to set up the mosh pit or the mosh pit to set up the Entomb.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I think those are all very powerful. Those are some of the most powerful heroics in the game. Is the funny part. And then on the opposite side, we didn't go over there. Is we have Nano Boost, as we thought, Pyroblast, Purification Salvo, Blessed Shield, and Cursed Bullet. Cursed Bullet, Cursed Bullet. Who cares?
Well, there's the Cursed Bullet onto Falstad, and with that dive in, Falstad getting very low, but ultimately close enough to his fort that he can escape the Worgen. We see this rotation up coming up from sOaK every lane. This could be a very big problem for Greymane, as he doesn't seem to be aware of it.
No. Oh my goodness!
Using the boss. Wow.
Yeah, use the. Oh wait, but Gust maybe. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wow.
That was cool. That was really
cool.
cool.
Boss as a springboard to make sure that he's able to get away. That was pretty clutch.
That's pretty. That's like 150 IQ.
I think
not quite 200, but 150.
I think if Malfurion leads, the way back, like if he goes top left a little bit more than the Gul'dan there, maybe. And he drops that root between where the rock is and the wall, I think Greymane dies there. But he chased him down with the root a little bit behind.
Yeah, I liked it. It was cheeky and it was fun, but I think they could have gotten that Greymane there. Maybe he wasn't concerned. Maybe he knew the whole time that he could get out.
You know what? We'll give him that. Yeah, he was.
Let's give it to him. Let's give it to him. Yeah. He knew.
100%. Totally knew that. And now, once again, with these narrow corridors, Entomb and Mosh Pit can really provide value here. So,
100%.
Especially on the defensive side. Again, on the offensive side over here for sOaK every lane, anyways, it's going to be a little bit harder. There are still some kind of choke points there, but it's a lot more open in the backside. And both teams picking up their camps now.
Always love those camps. That what are they, like a minute cooldown? Minute 30?
I was gonna say, I think they're 90 seconds. Yeah, they're pretty short.
So awesome.
Yeah, and if you have somebody like, I don't know, Nova. I mean, not that I've ever seen a Nova here. I'm sure that I have, but not in competitive play. But if you had a Nova, 45 seconds.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right,
I think
get in the stall.
Too. Am I mistaken? I might be wrong about that.
They might. Let's zoom out a little bit here so that we can actually... Oh, Tornado gonna get cursed bulleted, but is able to walk away, but I don't think he survives the Pyroblast.
No. Malfurion doesn't provide enough healing for that.
Yeah,
a big slow from the Mud Pit is going to allow a big Purification Salvo to do a lot of damage, but it doesn't kill anyone. It just kind of deters the red team away. And they're going to continue the channel. So
the null camp in the middle being taken out a little bit by the larger mini wave there. And with Kael'thas in the middle, ETC is going to power slide onto Boundary X there, is going to make it away, though. It's going to be Malfurion going to be the first kill, and Eric with a K trying to go on to Apocalypse and get a second one, but with that fort, once again, just like with Falstad up in the top lane, not quite able to make it.
No, not exactly. Oh boy, this is looking a little spooky for our less spooky friends in sOaK every lane.
Yeah, no doubt. This is pretty crazy.
So we got, it's like a 5-man push on bottom, because why not? I mean, that fort is basically dead anyway, so you might as well push with your full health Alliance boy
Ram Rider
onto a keep. Yeah, no, I like Alliance boy better.
All right. And I mean, especially when you've got a top lane objective pushing as well, that's definitely going to get that fort, and may very well be able to even get more than that, maybe able to get at least the wall, as long as they can keep people busy down here. Here comes the big mosh, hits everybody but Phoenix. There's the Twilight Dream, and Philip K getting low here. No kills out of that, and it's going to be ETC going down first.
Yeah, and the Horrify came out too and didn't seem to hit anybody. That's kind of weird. Kid getting low on Malfurion. He's running away as best as he can, but dies because Johanna slowed him.
And you know what? I think that Falstad was flying in and was trying to get a gust, but ultimately got the gravity lapse instead and had to walk away. And so we're going to see Spooky Ghost coming down here and working on this bottom boss, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. If the thing about the boss on this map is it's not particularly strong. It doesn't really do that much in comparison to other bosses. But if it's free, you might as well take it. This is pretty free. They had 11 seconds, I think, by the time they reached it on Malfurion to get up, and that's just you don't engage without a Malfurion. No way. So
yeah. And I like what they're doing. I mean, like you said, I mean, pushing in with the boss is going to be fairly difficult with that 40 armor. So they're going to come up, probably going to stall and clear this lane.
Right.
And sOaK Every Lane's going to come up. They expect them to come into this. I don't know if the boss left alone can kill the core or not with the 40
I don't
armor.
think so. I'm pretty sure it can't. But it's going to push up the lane because, you know, I mean, obviously the rest of the waves, they have the super special other null boy added. Uh-oh.
Well,
was that subdue completed?
Okay, holy cow. With that cursed bullet finishing off the cow, it's beef for dinner. Opaco's thrown out that zoning entomb there, but ultimately they've got to back away. And let's actually take a look at this boss. So boss is already at about a third. Core's
that does not
fine.
Absolutely not.
But
and,
you know what it does do is if you have the boss available and you get a kill or two, that can end the game, because then the core, that 40 armor basically is negated by the fact that you have a boss.
Right, exactly.
So we do see the mid camp getting value as it takes down the fort there, and now this boss going up into the top lane will allow them to get started on the prison camp pretty early here.
Yeah, no, that's good. This is good. This is looking really good for the Spooky Ghosts, and not so great for sOaK Every Lane. They're going to have to clear the boss. Otherwise, I think that can actually take, at the very least, keep wall. And like I said, these bosses aren't particularly strong in comparison to others. So, again, I hate this map. I don't pay attention to it. So I don't know too much about it. But this is looking like another free objective for Spooky Ghosts at the moment. Unless we can get a really good engage here. Philip K looking for something, maybe, just showing presence.
Well,
he sees there's only 4 here.
Yeah, and they've got all of their ultimates, so expect to see some craziness here.
The old Twilight Dream is used, but it only managed to silence Kel'Thas. Oh.
So they do get the defense. So 8.5 seconds left there. Bot lane pressure is mounting, but again, unlike other maps, you know, one lane of pressure isn't enough to bring down a core, so they don't really have to worry too much about that.
No, absolutely.
So we're going to see both teams moving over to their null camps.
Right.
And keeping in mind, of course, that this is going to very slightly favor sOaK Every Lane because they do have occasional Reavers coming in the mid lane as well. I believe they should have one with... I thought they had one with one of these waves, but I guess it's on the next one. All right, and here they come. So 5v5 this time on Spooky Ghost's half of the map.
All right, let's see if sOaK Every Lane can maybe turn this around. If they are on even talent tiers, they can make this work. I really think they can do this. Let's see. Let's see if they can do it.
Can he heal the friendly protectors? Can who heal the friendly protectors? Aether Holy Shock buildings. Oh, no, he can't heal the protector. All right, so Falstad's gonna start channeling. ETC not quite able to get the stall out on Johanna, so they don't get to complete it, but Wraith Walk used to get him out of there, but it's not going to be enough as Pyroblast finishes off Gul'dan as well. 2 for nothing so far. We do still have a Mosh, but not really any way to kill anybody with it. So we're going to see a full disengage. And with a full cavalry, you know, this top keep goes down for sure. And
absolutely,
at that point, with as pushed in as the bot lane is, this could very well be the end of the game.
I think it might be, just because, once again, the top keep definitely gone. They're going to go ahead and try to push that in. Mid lane is actually not an issue at all for sOaK Every Lane. They can completely ignore that. They have a fort still alive, and the wave is super pushed out. So really, they have to just try and maybe find something, I guess, here. I don't think they even can. It's 20s. This is just looking really bleak.
Yeah, this is really tough. I mean, you have to get some kind of solid engage from your team, and right now you're 4 versus 5 with a cavalry coming in. you know, fighting on top of the objective is going to make it really brutal for
Right.
sOaK every lane at this point. And there's the gravity lapse onto ETC. Power slide in. He's going to get the silenced, I guess, I think.
He didn't even go for the mosh. It wasn't even put on cooldown.
Well, then never mind. So yeah, just the Entomb and ETC getting blown up by the team there as they're on the Horde. I don't remember his name. I remember Vandar Stormpike. I don't remember Drekthar. Is that his name? Maybe?
Yeah, Drekthar.
There we go. And Tornado going to be another kill. They're going to get Falstad as well. But this boss is going down quickly. And game number 1 on Alterac Pass is going to go over to the Spooky Ghosts.
Well played. So I had a thought. I had a thought. What is that applause for?
Having a thought. Are you going to share it with us?
Yeah, I want to share it. Okay, so like I said, the mid lane was super pushed out. Now, how could it have possibly gotten there? I have a feeling that the Spooky Ghosts allowed it to be pushed that far out, just so that sOaK every lane couldn't sOaK every lane. You know, like they were down 20s, right? You know, like it was, or they were just about to be down 20s. It was 1917, I think, was the final fight. So, like, I almost wonder if they allowed that to happen for that lane to be pushed out, because then they can't sOaK that mid lane. They can't do anything about it. Like, they can sOaK the other two, but they can't do about middle. I don't know. It's just a thought. It's just a thought.
Yeah, because if you allow the sOaK to move away from the enemy team, especially when you have the advantage like that in levels, it makes it a lot harder for them to catch up unless they get a little bit too aggressive, and then you can take the fight. So that's entirely possible.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just a little thought I had, a fun one. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm underthinking it. I don't know.
Well, that's okay. So let's go ahead and pop out of game number 1, and let's see where we're going for game number 2. Are you snoozing over there?
No, I'm thinking, where could we possibly be going? No Dragon Shadow. No Braxis.
I have the answer.
No Infernal, right?
Let me tell you where or who picked. Matt pick was to Spooky Ghosts. So they just won. The other team elected for Matt pick. Where would you go?
Spooky Ghosts. Spooky things happen in cursed places. Cursed Hollow.
Sir, you nailed it. We are going to Cursed Hollow. Good call.
Got him.
All right, let's see here. So let me put in the teams here. So, and I'll tell you what our hero bands were. And while I'm doing this, why don't you check in with chat? What's going on with chat?
What's going on with chat? It was Ektar saying that the applause to the correct response there was well done. Good job. We had a thought of Infernal Shrines. I guess you weren't here earlier, Ektar. Infernal Shrines was banned, Arrow. I'm correct on that?
Oh, you know what? Why don't we hop up and take a look at the map, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that. Spooky Ghost has improved a lot from earlier this season. Well, that's exciting. That's good to hear for them.
You know what? Actually, I agree with that. Because Spooky Ghost, I cast one of their games very early on. I don't remember. Actually, I can look at it. I'm on the page. It was actually their first game against Arrogant Nephilim, and Arrogant Nephilim 2-0'd them. And I also cast their second game, which was Who Knows Gaming against Spooky Ghost, and they also 2-0'd them. But they looked, really strong here, and their first win of the season was against Regen Blue. Rip. But they picked up a win against Reborn Knights Red, and so yeah, looking really strong here. Let me make sure that I've got these all.
And that's something you'll love to see, right? Like a team, not that you love to see them struggle, but like you see a team not doing so great, and then they just get an added maybe they had an attitude adjustment, maybe they just figured it out, and now they're going on a tear. Like, you love to see that, really. Love those stories.
All right, we have got game number 2 on Cursed Hollow all queued up and ready to go. So let's go ahead and get into this, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, right, I forgot I took us off the camera to show the maps. Here we go.
Let's go.
I'm gonna leave it on us for a moment until I hide the timer.
Okay.
In other words, people can't see the draft. But while we're doing that, while we're waiting on this to load, so Spooky Ghost banned out Tyrande, Kael'Thas, Malthael, and sOaK Every Lane banned out Medivh, Ana, and Malfurion. And you know what? I like the Medivh because if I remember correctly, Spooky Ghost actually just the other day played a really strong game with the Medivh. So that's you know, and
it's Cursed Hollow.
Yeah. So all right.
I don't hate it.
All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and introduce our teams? Go ahead. Take it away, Psychic.
Right. On the left, up 1-0 is Spooky Ghost, Boundary-X on Phoenix again, Rogoth on Johanna again, Kalidus on Chen, Little Wolf on Lucio, and Eric with a K once again on Greymundo.
All right. And for sOaK Every Lane, we've got Tornado on Jaina, Philip K on Diablo, Kid on Brightwing, Apocalypse on Sonya, and DMN13 on Raynor.
Cool.
And this time I do want to point out that Greyman has selected his level 1 talent, but Chen has not.
Uh-oh, we're taking it a little differently this time, I suppose. Okay. Right wing. Okay. All right. Okay. I see it.
Yeah, I like the hypershift.
Yeah, sure.
On such a large map like this, it gives Brightwing the opportunity to. I mean, she is the global, so it allows her to be that global and be in a lane opposite the control point, which she's doing already as the first tribute is in the top lane.
Yeah, sOaK Every Lane opting to not necessarily not fight, but if they went almost straight to lane there at the very beginning, opting to sOaK Every Lane right out the gate. So that's fun.
Yeah, we're gonna see Tornado coming over here, presumably asking for some assistance with this bruiser camp, and I like this because it's going to allow them the time to head down to their siege giant, which is in the opposite lane from the tribute.
Yeah, no, it'll be a good time for that. Greyman and Lucio are going to go ahead and pop on the siege camp for Spooky Ghosts, so that's fun. Raynor is going to go ahead and soak the middle, while Brightwing has bottom covered. This looks good. Shen and Phoenix are also on the opposite ends. Yeah, I'm liking this. And Lucio and Greyman are going to start heading to the bruiser camp. All right, this is good. I like these rotations. This is your usual Cursed Hollow first 2 minutes of the game rotations.
So interestingly enough, we do see for level 1 freshest ingredients for Chen, giving the permanent shield when he completes his quest reward. It also reduces the cooldown by 1 second. But probably what he's looking at in the lane against Sonya is the fact that the healing globes have double duration.
Yeah, that could definitely be a helping factor. Oh my goodness! But speaking of, I hope you were highlighting that.
I sure was.
Chen was just staggering all that Sonya damage and actually managed to find a kill out of it.
Well, a lot of that damage was actually from the towers that he just completely ignored so that he could get the damage onto her.
Yeah, that's very true.
So
Jamie's gonna head up and maybe clear the siege camp.
Good on Chen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Good, very well played.
And we do have quite the push here in the middle with this bruiser camp. We've got Greymane, which of course has pretty decent push into structures. As Diablo charging in, gonna get the boop away from Little Wolf though. And up in the top, the tribute has now spawned.
Cool, here we go.
And Phoenix is gonna make the rotation. He's heading up, but it's quite some time before he's gonna make it there.
Yeah, absolutely. Brightwing can go ahead and, I guess, soak and maybe even push a little bit while she's waiting. She has Hyper Shift ready to, or Hyper Shift is the talent, excuse me. She has her Phase Shift ready to go at any time.
And here
she's going to go ahead and start it. Let's go. Oh, Little Wolf in super deep. Yeah, but he's managing to get it out because he is Lucio and slippery like that. And Brightwing actually pays the ultimate price. Chen is kind of just sticking to this Jimmy in the back, but Diablo comes in and says, no, I don't want that. Jaina actually being the new target for... Oh my god, what the heck? She dodges a swipe from Greymane, but ultimately goes down anyway. Oh,
quite the slippery teams here.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's the one downside of the Brightwing phase shift is that it puts your healer. They know exactly where they're going, so that it puts a target onto that player for things like your gravity lapse or your Phoenix laser, or Greymane diving in. All that stuff is immediately available. Of course, we don't have gravity lapse in this, but point stands.
Yeah, I got you.
So we did get from Spooky Ghost. We got almost enough to get this tower in the mid lane. And so far, that's really about the structure damage, I think, for Spooky Ghosts. No, I'm sorry, they did get one in the top lane as well. Whereas sOaK Every Lane did get the mid tower down. And I think that's it. Yeah, so about overall equal as far as structure value so far.
Just about, yeah. And even the levels are relatively similar. There are 3 kills on the side of Spooky Ghosts. And they're only just slightly ahead. They're not too far ahead. Looks like a free channel, though, for sOaK Every Lane. That's fine. That looks good for them. But Siege Camp was taken out for Spooky Ghosts. And they actually haven't gotten their Watchtower yet, which is a little silly.
Yeah, and we're going to see this this boss play pretty early here.
Ooh, I don't know. It doesn't seem like sOaK Every Lane has even really realized that most of the team hasn't showed in lane in a while. Brightwing is actually suspicious, and I think it's too late at this point.
At this point, yeah, for sure. Diablo's coming in. Let's see, how many souls does he have to lose here? 77?
Uh-oh.
So
yeah,
a little bit
he's
too late.
going in too far.
And with Diablo by himself, I don't know that they have the ability to really lock him down enough.
No, maybe not. No, here comes Lucio. Yeah, there it is. Lucio with the off-the-wall to slow him down. I don't think that was necessarily the killing blow, but Lucio's speed boost allowed them to catch up. And while Brightwing did give her Diablo a speed boost as well, it didn't really matter in the end. Looks like this boss invade from Spooky Ghosts, also pretty cheeky, but not terrible. Not terrible.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they know that the damage is in the bot lane, and Diablo is not on the map at all, so...
Yeah, exactly. Might as well. And they might even be able to make it down in time for the tribute to spawn. They might just make it. Yes, especially with this Sonya mounted and still top lane. They actually might be
gonna give it.
That's I don't hate it. It is a little risky because now you're allowing for a 2 out of 3, but it's going to be a free fort regardless.
Yeah, they're really setting up for the next round when they're going to have their ultimates too.
That makes sense. I like that, actually. I didn't think about that. This is why I have you, Arrow.
Yeah, because this boss now, it's going to die. It barely gets any damage onto the 4-wall, but now they're going to come down here.
Ah, I see what you're thinking, as Jin would say.
So they are going to get the invade, push Sonya off as the boss is getting to work in the top here. And it might be able to get one tower. No, not quite one tower.
Yeah, the minions. Look at that minion. Look at that ranged minion getting that last shot at. What a great guy.
This is questionable, I think.
Yeah, this is a little spooky.
Yeah, that was a little aggressive. I think if sOaK Every Lane was a little bit more aggressive about their positioning and came around from the top, I think they could have just destroyed them there.
Yeah, that one was a little spooky. I don't like that one. But are they gonna wait a minute?
They were not punished by it.
Hold on a minute. Is Spooky Ghost opting to give the curse here? They might be opting to give the curse potentially. I don't know. They have Lucio's speed rotations. Here they come. Yeah, no, I'm a liar. I'm a fool. Don't listen to me. Oh, but Chen is in trouble.
Here to try to stall it out, but yeah. Oh, he gets out of Storm, Earth, and Fire.
Yeah.
And now you've got 4 versus 5 into a curse.
Yeah, here comes the Water Elemental from Jaina and an Apocalypse maybe landing, but only stunning our friend Johanna. She gets polymorphed as well to secure the kill. Sound Barrier was brought out, but way too late, and that's all. I think this is a curse, Arrow.
It certainly looks that way. Now, that being said, the lanes are, pretty decently pushed up in the top. They've got the Bruiser camp in the mid, so being able to defend this, I don't think it's too much of a problem. Greymane can cover the bottom pretty easily. They're even going to pick up a Siege camp to to help push against the
Yeah,
the
I don't
curse.
think defending is the problem. The problem now is that sOaK every lane can, once again, sOaK every lane and kind of push a lead and maybe put themselves in a better position for the future, for any future fights, rather. It's more about that. But Greymane's actually pounding this Rainer in the bot lane. I don't know if he... Whoa! There was a little juke there, but Chen was
Chen
on
can
his
finish
way.
this. Oh, can he finish it?
Can he, though? I don't know. I don't know if he can do this. There was a
that
nice
feels
little
bad.
push and a leap onto the Greymane. Wow, what a turn! Holy cow! Oh my gosh!
And now ETC, that's from the Holy Cow. Chen getting caught by the Diablo Shadow Charge.
Holy.
That was... You know, the funny thing is, you were about to say, I don't know if he can get this. I was like, oh yeah, if he pops Storm Earth and Fire, this is a dead Rainer for sure. Except he didn't, and ultimately paid for it. They rotated down from bottom. You know, and like, Johanna was there. She was fighting 1v3, so I imagine she presumably would have called out that they had backed away.
Yeah, here comes Johanna, speaking of the devil. She's got a big slow on everybody. That was a subdue. Does she have less shield? I think she does, yes. They can get the chase on with a Lucio and Greymane. There it is. There's the stun.
Emerald Wind was interrupted.
Oh, Emerald Wind was interrupted. Clarification Salvo finishes off Sonya and Jaina. Why not? And here goes Diablo. Oh my gosh, this might actually be a team wipe because Chen is sitting on Rainer in the back over there.
And you know what? This boss is now available in the bot lane. I'd like to see them have somebody push the bot lane there as far as minions just to keep it up and then get this boss.
Yeah.
Chen is instead gonna go get the siege camp.
I think sOaK every lane knows what they did wrong there. They overstayed their welcome with a half health Diablo and 3/4 health Sonya. This overstayed, and Johanna just walked right in and said, "Hey guys, how you doing?" And then subdue, stun, Lucio speed boost, and that's it.
Speed boostio.
Oh, speaking of which, actually, yeah, speed boostio. Actually, speaking of which, Arrow, my brother finished off my Lucio O's, so I don't have any more.
Brothers, you mean? You don't have any more brothers? Because that's what I wouldn't have if my brother finished off my Lucios.
Yeah, I guess I that's, yeah. I'm a little upset. Anyway.
Well, you know what? We're going to BlizzCon, so maybe we can pick up some Lucio O's when we go to BlizzCon. I bet they'll have
maybe, if there's still a thing by then. I'm not sure they are. I think they're limited. But you know what's not limited? Bosses, because they just came back up. Ooh.
So Storm Earth and Fire is getting popped, and the jump onto Jaina. Here comes Brightwing trying to keep her alive. Is going to be able to do it. Diablo all by himself into the blue. And gonna get a flip. Emerald Wind going out for the disengage, but Philip K not quite able to make it out. Chen continuing in, but is going to pull back, and this boss did 100% reset. And the boss is still in the bot lane, doesn't have a whole lot of health, so it's gonna get the tower. Probably not even the second tower, but the minions might be able to finish that off.
Yeah, the minions definitely do. As we saw our Ranger minion friend, they were inspired by him, so they're going to go ahead and hit that tower and kill it. Top boss was picked up for Spooky Ghosts. They still have 2 tributes to go before they get cursed. They don't seem particularly interested in it, though.
I don't. Yeah, I was going to say, I think they push with the boss.
Yeah,
Why
absolutely.
not? 16
advantage, well, for a little bit, not for too long.
Diablo has basically no souls.
Yeah. Well, don't say that about the guy. He'll hurt his feelings. He has a soul.
All right, so Eric with a K diving in onto Sonya, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Apocalypse. Yeah. Unfortunate.
And Chen now diving over the Diablo again with no souls. He goes down very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, a no-soul Diablo dies very quickly. It's kind of surprising, but not really.
Rec, I mean, with 2 dead, they have no front line, and still 25-30% of this boss. They're moving on to the core.
Yeah, I think this is the end of the road for sOaK every lane. I think Spooky Ghost has this more or less in the bag. 72%. Yeah, this is the end of the game. That was a lot of fun, though.
Looks like Jaina's gonna go ahead and pop an ice block, trying to not feed into those stats for Division B. But we do see Eric with a K going down at the end. Apocalypse jumping onto Boundary X and Little Wolf. And that is the end of game number 2. So game number 2 going over to the Spooky Ghosts as well. Very strong performance.
That was a fun one, and I liked the capitalization that sOaK Every Lane did, especially with that Rainer juke into the bush and around. And unfortunately, Chen wasn't quite ready for it himself. No, he was ready. It's just he didn't, like you said, he didn't pop Storm, Earth, and Fire quickly enough, and the rest of sOaK Every Lane came down on them. I think SEL knows exactly where they went wrong, right? Like they overstayed their welcome in bottom lane. They should have just maybe gotten the tower and said, all right, let's get out of here, because everyone was coming up again from Spooky Ghosts, and there was plenty to do. They had just gotten a curse. They're in a pretty good spot. They're now ahead, so I think they know where they went wrong. But it was a fun game.
I want you to look at one stat, and this is not a reflection on the players, just basically on what happened in this game, but take a look at the healing stat.
Okay.
Like, put it top to bottom.
Well, I mean, I know how silly that looks. Brightwing was in her own lane for a lot of that game,
Right.
So it's not. You're right. It's not a reflection of the player at all.
Right. It's just,
but it is funny to look at.
Kind of crazy to see, and
it
not only that, but also, Brightwing doesn't do a lot of burst healing. So when you've got a cursed bullet and all the follow-up burst damage coming out from a Chen, Storm, Earth, and Fire, or what have you, or Phoenix Purification Salvo, it's hard to keep up with that. So the best thing that you can do is mitigate the damage with your Pixie Dust. So
yeah, absolutely, it's preventing it rather than healing it.
Right.
And, I like it.
Like
it's
the
fun.
value of having an Uther.
Exactly. Now you're thinking.
Now you're cooking with gas.
With gas. That's kind of what I was actually. I wanted to say that.
What do you think of propane, Rec?
Propane and propane accessories. I love that clean burning, energy efficient propane. I wish I could actually do that voice. It'd be nice, but
it's close enough.
It's close. It's close. It's one of the mannerisms that I have.
Show the lineup for today. Yes. Let me see if I'm not sure if the schedule shows. If I updated it, let me make sure that I've got the right. Yeah, I didn't. Hold on, 1 second. Here it is. Updated that. All right, let me pop that up. So we just watched Spooky Ghosts and sOaK Every Lane with Recycit. Coming up next is going to be out of C West, 10 Armor versus Paraloot, and that's going to be co-cast by Monkus. Shortly thereafter, we'll see B East with Jailbait and Buff Chen. Born to Shine is going to be joining me for that one, and then we'll be back with Recycit at the end of the day for a Div A game between Rewind and Into Deep.
Awesome.
So
this sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then also, just so that you guys are aware, tonight we also have a game. This one will be actually on my channel itself, between FF and the Pancakes versus Too Calculated to Throw. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern. That'll be on twitch.tv/Arrow of the Storm, and that is a Div D East game, I believe. So
I think you're right.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and just take a couple of minutes so that I can get Monkus set up and ready to go, and also get game number 2, or I guess match number 2. And Recycit, we'll see you in a couple hours. Anything you want to say to switch down on your way?
Stick around. I'll be back if you like me. If you don't like me, well, that's a shame. But yeah, no, stick around. Monkus is next, followed by Born to Shine, as Arrow's literally already said, and I'll be back later. So stick around for everybody, and I'll be back. You haven't taken the last of me.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rick. We'll see you back here in a little bit.